Welcome to our podcast, Hiking in Heels, with life coach Teresa Coltrane and full-time mum and writer Jessica Heedy Gandolfi. Hiking through life can sometimes feel like we are literally hiking in our heels.
As women in today's modern world, the pressure to tick all the social boxes is at its peak. Being perfect, being strong, having it all together, the list goes on. Inspired by our own journeys and life struggles, we have come together, and we are on a mission to empower other women to overcome their fears and tap into their greatness.
With special guests and our own personal stories, our aim is to bring light and healing to inspire you to take your life to the next level. As Coco Chanel once said, keep your head, heels, and standards high.
We invite you to kick off your heels, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to our Hiking in Heels podcast, episode 6. And today we are absolutely thrilled to welcome our very, very special guest, Dr. Evelyne Leome. Dr. Evelyne is the founder of the Institute of Conscious Health and is a board certified in Regenerative, Functional and Nutritional Medicine by the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine and the Metabolic Medical Institute. She is a graduate physician from Nova Southeastern University and did her clinical training at the Cleveland Clinic. Dr. Evelyne also holds certifications in brain fitness, Ayurvedic medicine, yoga, and Reiki. At the forefront of anti-aging medicine and hormone therapy, Dr. Evelyne is supporting her patients to create their own vibrant health by increasing vitality, decreasing susceptibility to illness, and develop awareness to the connection between body and mind. Her integrated model of medicine can stop disease before it starts and prevent the negative effects of aging. She has helped patients overcome a wide range of issues and chronic diseases from migraines, sleep disturbances, fatigue, digestive problems, eczema, autoimmune diseases, prevent severe diseases of the cardiovascular, immune, and respiratory systems. Her work as a physician who integrates body, mind, and spirit has led her to collaborate with conscious leading teachers in spiritual psychology. She is offering group teaching, focusing on preventing disease and building stress resistance. She also guides participants to the self-healing and regenerative power of the body through scientific understanding and through the direct experience of breathing and meditative practices. Wow. I mean, hello. How blessed are we to be sitting here with you? That is phenomenal.
I had no idea my bio was so long. But anyway, I'm the one who is thrilled to sit with two wonderful women who are supporting the empowerment of women, because this has been a big part of my journey.
Good.
Thank you.
And we love that.
Thank you.
Good.
We're so excited to have you, and I've just been in love with you ever since I met you at NOM, and you're also my doctor, so you have a very special place in my heart, so I'm so grateful to have you with us. So
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. You do too.
So maybe Evelyne, or Dr. Evie even, as you like.
Yes, Dr. Evie.
Dr. Evie, like to be lovingly called by your patients. Tell us about your journey, because you didn't always start off in this medical field of practice. I mean, I just love the fact that you originally in your previous life were a jewelry designer. I think that's fantastic, but you left that creative realm and decided to pursue your passion, which was medicine. So can you share that journey, how that looked with us for our listeners?
Yes, so I always had an admiration for the human body. I believe that our body is a miracle, and so is our mind. And I wanted to be a doctor from an early age. Life, goes on, and I couldn't become a doctor in my country, in France originally. And I found jewelry design fascinating also. So I just went into that career and did that for 17 years. Moved to America, had a company here, and was doing good until I ran into a Buddhist journey. I should say it came to me.
You ran into it.
I met my spiritual teacher at that time in Buddhism, and decided to follow the teachings of the Dalai Lama, and had a wonderful time attending all this and really finding myself with spiritual path. And along with that came a huge sense of compassion for the world. I always wanted to be a doctor, yes. But at that time, I decided my call is to help the world. And I was almost 40 at that time. I guess it's a time also where women start questioning, their life journey. And I really, really wanted to help people. So I went back to school, and I said, well, maybe I can go to med school at my age. So I started with psychology. But the whole time I had that in my mind, and I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. I want to help people in what is most fascinating to me. So I just went back to school. I had no idea what the journey would be, and I didn't even care. I just wanted to do it. I didn't know, I was raising 2 children at that time. They were 12 and 13. And so I would go for my classes and do homework with the kids after, and it all worked out. Residency was not easy, but it all worked out. And I want women to know that when you really have something that moves you, that you want to do, go for it. Because everything will align, and this is what happened for me. Everything was aligning as I was going to make this journey possible.
Because I think that's the key part for me, especially because I'm a mum of twins, teenage twins, and in my 40s, and the thought at 40 something to relaunch yourself or retrain yourself into another realm or career, but something that you absolutely love to do. But the thought of that and the fear and the blockages that you would put in front of yourself. Oh, I can't do that. I'm too old. It's going to be too difficult. I've got too many commitments with the children. There's not enough time. I mean, none of that entered your head at all? You didn't even see those as issues. You just thought, this is my calling, this is what I want to do, and you just went for it.
Completely. I was driven by my passion, and nothing could stop me. And also I got supported. I have to say the universe supported it, because I was getting the answers. I was getting, first when I went to one of the universities and I say I want to be a doctor, they told me, are you sure at your age? And they kind of turned me down.
How old were you?
I was 40.
You were 40, okay.
40, yeah.
I was 40 when I was in undergrad, but I was 43 when I started med school.
Wow.
They were basically telling me, you're too old for that. But then the right university came along, and things. A friend told me about this university. I should approach them, and it just happened. Things really were meant to be.
Yeah. I think that's such a good message, is to just trust, to go after whatever it is you're wanting to do, and trust that things will align for you. I think sometimes we can get tripped up on feeling like we have to control how everything's going to happen, and maybe that stops us up from the natural flow of how it will already happen for us.
Completely. And when things start happening, it's very important to be grateful, to be in the moment, and to appreciate it. So when I got accepted in med school, I was in the classroom and I was in awe, thanking God, the universe, everybody for being here and appreciating every moment. Where, the younger people in the class, they would be like, oh, it's so much work. I would be like, it's amazing.
I love this. I'm going to
give me more. I'm here. It's amazing. I was so grateful. So I guess that supported me to go further.
But how inspiring for your children as well. I mean, they must, I wonder how they, mum's gone back to school, she's gone back to retrain. I mean, it's a really powerful message for them as well, to see you do that and have the courage and the strength and the passion to fight. I mean, what an incredible message for your children to see.
Yeah, they're still talking about it today, and they're wonderful.
I had a question for you. So you said you ran into or fell into the Buddhism path. Was there something that happened in your life at that particular time that led you there, or was it just you ran into it, like you said?
Question. Yeah.
Well, it kind of came to me. At that time, we bought a house in Miami, and we had no idea. It was, of course, the house was a little different, the way it was structured, and there were palms in the backyard, but we had no idea. And at the closing, we found out that the owner was a Buddhist monk who was very close to Dalai Lama, and he was hosting Buddhist teachings in this home. We had in this home, which was from the 1930s, hundreds of visitors from Tibetan monks.
Wow.
Yes, so we thought that, we wanted to recreate that. So we invited monks there, and it was just amazing. It was an amazing journey.
Oh my gosh, how cool. So you already felt the energy in the house, and then that kind of maybe inspired you.
Oh, yes.
How neat.
Definitely.
I love that.
So that really gave you the inspiration for taking that step into retraining.
Yes.
Just your awakening from that experience.
That was very supportive of it, definitely.
Amazing.
But you know, it was my journey. We don't have to have a Buddhist journey.
No.
I think it just opened me to get in touch into a higher reality rather than the daily life of doing and gathering and, you know, just living my life. I looked at life from a different perspective, and I started seeing that maybe there was something else I could do to bring my contribution to the world. I think that's how it helped me.
Wow.
So tell us about your practice then and the contribution that you have now, because it's not traditional medicine that you practice. Share with us what it is that you actually bring.
So even though I took the traditional path, of course, I trained and I really wanted to become a neurologist originally and work in the hospital. That's something I had on my mind. And along with the journey, I was very inspired by patients who were coming in and had spontaneous remission or were telling me that they were doing different things, alternative medicine, and it really called me. And I thought, why not prevent? We had all these people coming and we had all these protocols, and we were not healing a lot of people with chronic disease. And I said, there's something else that can be done. So that's how I went into a journey into functional medicine, which I practice now. So it's more preventive, and it's basically bringing the body to a balance, replenishing what's missing in the body so the body can function and do what it's supposed to do. So that's the thing. I practice from a medical point of view, but really I have integrated so many things because I also had a journey in Ayurvedic medicine, and I'm a yoga practitioner. I've been practicing yoga since the age of 15 and meditation. And along with this, I'm now doing the Nam Yoga, which is completely amazing and which really combines all these health needs that we have. You know, the breathing, the breath work is amazing, and just the knowledge behind it is fascinating. Every time I hear new things about Nam Yoga, about health, I'm really happy to be able to correlate them to what I do and to traditional medicine also. So it's more about now, for me, my dream is to see spirituality and medicine under the same roof. I don't think they should be doctors and spiritual teachers in a separate room. We should be all together, because really we have made a correlation between the body and the mind through psychology. Yep. We have integrated we all know that there's a connection between the body and the mind. I think now it's common knowledge. The body is not separated from the mind, and they feed each other. The only thing that we have left out is the spirit. And we know that there is a collective consciousness. We know that there's this place in ourselves that we can tap into, that can elevate us, that can free us. And I think it's so important. So,
yeah. I love that you said that, to bring spirituality and doctors together, because, you know, as I've been studying yoga, you know, for the past couple of years, Nam Yoga, I'm learning the same thing. I'm starting to see the parallel between our physical health and our mind, body, and spirit, and how it all actually does work together. And there's so many studies and so much science kind of showing that overlapping process between the two. So I just love that that's a part of your mission. And also as a doctor, that's part of how you treat your patients as well, wouldn't you say?
Yes,
you
completely.
Kind of offer some suggestive meditations and spiritual stuff. Could you share a little bit more?
Completely. I always advise them to some breath work, some meditation, and we always address everything. I mean, whatever they're open to address, of course, but there's always a place where the discomfort has started in the mind, and there's always a way to calm the mind. Some people would do better with active breathing. Some people would do better with meditation, and some people would just do better with supplements. We all on different journeys, but I really believe that yoga has a lot to offer nowadays, and different forms of yoga, but especially one that is integrated like Nam Yoga. It's just unbelievable, an unbelievable practice, and we all know because we all do that.
And a lot of your work as well is in the anti-aging aspect and hormone therapy, which I think a lot of
and so I teach groups of women, and most of them are already in the spiritual world. So along with Jean Houston, who is an amazing woman who has written 30 books and is always leading groups of women, she invited me to teach with her to help women in the spiritual world, because really the tendency for women has been to focus on the mind and the spirit in those particular places, but they have kind of left the body behind because they get so busy, and in spirituality sometimes there's a confusion, like the body is not as important, and so we realize now that because of the challenges we have in the world right now, we need to be strong, and we need to really integrate everything. So the body has to be integrated, and this is what I like about NAM again, that there's a full understanding that mind, body, and spirit have all to be integrated. The body is not left on the side. So that's what I've been doing, and a lot of women come with lack of energy. They're drained, especially after a certain age, because after the age of 35, hormone production starts going down, and if we don't replenish it, of course, we're not going to feel the same as we were feeling before. But there is clearly a need to go above and beyond with our society. So how do we do that if we just do what our grandmothers were doing, just saying, okay, I'm retiring because, my hormones want me to slow down, or ignoring the fact that we don't absorb supplements as well. So it's important to replenish everything. I also have young women who have hormone imbalances, and it's certainly due to all the stresses we have in the environment and the environment itself, with the toxins and everything that's happening. So
the Ayurvedic and the Reiki and the yoga and the breathing, all of those therapies combined will help to balance out and re-level and rezone all of those emotional
absolutely,
and hormonal issues.
and some support sometimes. I use everything because sometimes there is a need for conventional medicine, so there is a need for medication but it cannot be forever. That's what I want to point out, that a medication is here to help you go to the next step. If it's needed now, yes, we have to use it. Hormones can be very helpful in rebalancing things. And sometimes we are missing a supplement. And the most common one that we hear about is vitamin D. A lot of people are not feeling well or having symptoms of depression or also vitamin D plays a lot of role in cancer prevention, so it's important to watch out for those things. There are a lot of nutrients that can not be absorbed properly and cause some problems.
And I would say, just to share a little bit about my journey, and I'm happy to share, I first went to see Dr. Evie because I was feeling overworked. I was feeling very tired, and I was feeling very emotional. So I was like, oh, there's something wrong. And, she did a blood panel on me, and everything was fine. And she said, you're just tired. She said, you just have to take care of yourself. You just need to, relax. And, it was suggested to me to, continue with my meditations and breath work, and then vinyasa yoga, which has been a great incorporation to me getting connected with my mind and body and just kind of slowing myself down, because as an entrepreneur you get in this busy flow of like, if you're not working, nothing gets done. So there's just like a lot of pressure all the time. And so if you don't slow down and like connect with your mind, body, and spirit, you can feel like your adrenaline or your adrenals are, suffering because of it. So I wonder, are a lot of patients similar to my stories? Like, do you see a lot of women that have the stress? What would you recommend to us ladies that are trying to do it all and we run ourselves down? What's the best medicine for us?
It's the most common thing, because we women think that we have to do always more and more and more and more. and we drain ourselves we don't have any limits. And that's why I changed the name of my company to the Institute of Conscious Medicine, because this is exactly the work we did. I brought you to the consciousness of what you were doing, looking at your schedule and looking how much space you really had for yourself. And nurturing ourselves is so important, because if we don't nurture ourselves, who can we nurture and how can we help the world? So I think that it's very common, and I see a lot of women coming in completely exhausted, and then of course there's problems with the thyroid, because there is a cascade there's a stress cascade that happens. So first we get stressed, and our adrenals are producing cortisol to cope with the stress, until the cortisol levels go down, and then we get really tired, and then the thyroid gets affected. So it doesn't mean that everybody has complete adrenal depletion, but very often the thyroid cannot function normally. So it causes a hormonal imbalance, because if the thyroid doesn't function properly, nothing can function. It's not only that you don't have energy, you don't produce the other hormones. And so it really starts with managing the stress. And what is managing the stress? We cannot avoid stress. Stress is here. And it's okay. It can be very manageable if we pay attention to ourselves, and if we learn how to say no.
That's a good one. Which is a big, this seems to be a common theme that's coming up between all our guests and our conversations that we're having. It's learning boundaries, learning to become conscious of where you are and what you're taking on board, and what you're saying no or not, as the case may be, saying no to, and then becoming so overwhelmed. But I think the thyroid part is quite interesting, because I hear that a lot more. So many people, these very quick thyroid problems, or overactive, underactive, there seems to be a lot of talk. I have a lot of friends and family that have had these issues with thyroid.
Yes, and it's very important to rebalance that. The environment, something in the environment also. Bromide is one of the responsible things for that, but we really don't know. We thought it was iodine, and it's there. All I know is that I get a lot of low thyroids.
Yeah. So it sounds like the best, simplest medicine, which we keep hearing from other people too, is just to create time and space to take care of yourself, and trust that everything will get done, and we actually can't do all the things we want to do unless we do take care of ourselves.
Well, I heard something, I was on a workshop with Esther Hicks, who is wonderful. Amazing. And she said one thing, and I don't know, I just got stuck on that at that time, long time ago, and she said, I care about how I feel. And this seemed so foreign to me, because I didn't even know how I felt.
You were so overwhelmed and such a...
Let alone caring about it. I was just doing. I care about how I feel. So think about it. If we start caring about how we feel, and so that means that if we don't feel good, we are going to do something about it, and we're going to stop doing the things that don't make us feel good. So keep that in mind, because I think it's a good place to start.
Yeah, it really is, and that's
it was for me.
Yeah, it's the part of just being conscious in your life to what you're saying yes to and how you're saying no to yourself, and what are the boundaries and the balance, and just trusting it'll all get done. We were having Jessica and I were having this conversation on the way here. We were feeling, both of us came off of weeks of traveling and having guests, and it's just, life is always going to be at this constant busy pace. So it's up to us to take the responsibility to create time and space for us to take care of ourselves and to just be calm.
And putting yourself first and foremost. How do I feel? Not how do my kids feel? How do my friends feel? How do my family feel? How do I feel? Because if I can't function and feel good, then everyone else is going to suffer as a result.
And I think that's so important. I have a lot of friends that are new moms, and that's one of the most common things is they feel that they don't have time for themselves, or they can't take a moment to take care of themselves because they feel every moment is being consumed. What would you say to new moms? Since both of you are moms, what would you say to these new moms?
If they feel good, chances are their kids are going to feel good.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's kids are learned by modeling, first of all. So if the mom feels good, they're going to be tempted to make themselves feel good. It's just a natural reaction. And also, because it's such a heartfelt connection that any vibration that is off, the child is gonna sense.
So true.
So it's very, very important that the mothers nurture themselves first. Of course, you have to be here for your children always, and be attentive to them, but not project and into the way they're feeling. So if your child is not feeling good, rather than getting there with the child, try to really bring yourself up so you can provide the best for them. Because there is really a vibrational response.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's almost like the family would benefit the family to operate at like this agreed upon vibration, of everyone just taking care of each other and supporting each other. And yeah, that's interesting. I'm so curious about it because even with my clients, it's one of the things we talk about the most. It's like they're new moms and they're trying to figure out these schedules and trying to figure out how to be a mom, how to start their life over again with this new baby in their lives. It's a lot to take on, I think. So
well, they have to take care of their health first. Make sure that a lot of new mothers are borderline anemic, and they're because they're exhausted, they're lacking B vitamins. There are a few contributors, and lack of sleep. Sleep is very important. Yeah. So all these things need to be really balanced so they can function at their best and resist all the stressors. It's all about building stress resistance.
Yeah, I love it. So true. Any great tips or takeaways that you would want to share for somebody to do every day that would help them?
To do every day?
If they had one thing that they had time to do.
If they had time to do one thing
every day that would really help benefit them or ground them or just take that, what would it be?
Well, take a moment to meditate. That's the best advice I could give anyone. Take that moment to just be with themselves. Separate themselves from the world as much as they can. Sometimes it's not easy because, if you have children running around, but even with children running around, you can still find this moment to just be in connection with yourself and have a real sense of the moment. Be in the present moment. Don't think about tomorrow, don't think about yesterday, don't think about the next minute, but think about now. And take deep breaths and just be there. I think this is what we're missing. We're always running and we don't take that deep breath that brings us into the present moment. And when we do that, we can see the world with more calm, with more clarity of mind, and things get better.
I love that. Yeah, it's just taking that simple moment of just being present with yourself and just breathing. A lot of my clients, they're not quite to the meditating state, but I just say even breathing is a way to, start meditating. And, it's something I start them off with and they love it. And they say that they breathe all day long. They're like, I've been breathing all day long. I'm like, that's amazing because it is. Yeah. It's bringing you back to that present moment. And the present moment is the only place we do have control, really. So I think that's a really beautiful thing to share. Do you also, you might have a couple of recorded meditations. I wonder if we could share with people.
I will give them to you. Yes.
Okay, great. It'd be fun to share with our listeners
because some people just find, you say, and I know before I really started, and I'm not even into it as much as you girls are, and I know I need to up my game with that, but just take some time to meditate. But a lot of people, I think, especially maybe the Brits, maybe a little bit more behind. I don't know, I'm not just saying generally, but people that I know, they're like, meditate, what's that? Like, really, I have to even know how to begin, how long, how do you get into it? Because you sit there and initially your mind is buzzing, and so it's very difficult to silence your mind and quiet your mind to get to that place. So
that's why my meditations are, because I'm a doctor, I take people in a journey within their body. So depending what we want to address, like if we want to talk about hormones, I take them into a visualized journey in their pituitary and look at the release of hormones and things like that. So because you have imaging at the same time, you follow something and you don't really realizing that you're meditating.
So it takes the mind away from the chatter, which otherwise you can't quieten and actually
it's hard to just sit and do much easier to have something on your mind.
And that medical side, I love that.
I think a guided meditation is the best place to start, and that's kind of what I did. And I tend to be a very busy person, and I think a lot all the time, and I can think very quickly. And so when I had first started meditation is because I was having, anxiety and stress from, going through my divorce and moving. But I knew I had to get a handle over it because I was waking up every morning with just this stress and anxiety. And I had always thought, oh my gosh, meditation, like, who can do this? Like, you can't just sit there and shut off your mind. It doesn't work. Yeah. And so what I realized, that's actually not technically the goal, but it's like what Evelyne was just saying. It's just like learning to be present and just tuning out all the chatter and just being specific. And I started with guided meditations, and so I did that probably for about a year and a half before I started doing the non-meditations. And I'll still do guided meditations. It's a really neat process because it literally takes your brain out of whatever you're doing, and it, like she was saying, like a body scan, it's like focusing on the specific organs and just kind of allowing your mind to reset. And I tell you, after meditating, I am less reactive. I feel I got smarter. I feel like I had more clarity in my life. Even smarter. Even smarter. And so there's a lot of things that started to happen to me that I noticed, and even people
more beautiful
around me.
Because you probably look more relaxed, and that I think plays into the anti-aging aspect of it.
Exactly.
Because the more stressed that we are,
definitely,
the more haggard and drawn and exhausted, and our skins reflect a lot. And
there's a lot to meditation. I don't know if I should address that
now,
please, but it's
sure.
There is a vibration that you reach in a state of meditation that helps at a cellular level. That means all your cells are responding in a different way. And actually, there were some studies made because for the longest time we have been looking for the fountain of youth, and we think it's got to be one thing. Maybe, I don't know, but for now we haven't found one thing. But there was there's a part in the cells on our chromosomes that is called telomeres. That the longer it is, the longer you live, and we have tried everything to elongate those telomeres, and nothing was working. And they did a study with monks meditating, and meditation is the only thing that has shown to elongate the telomeres.
Wow.
So this is a place where you anti-age, and that's because you reach the states that are, there's such clarity in the body, and I believe there's also an influence of some more light that ignites the cells and help them perform better. So more cool. Research is to come, and I'm really looking at that now at the cellular level, because there's a lot happening at the cell level that we have not been able to explain so far, but it's amazing to see how meditation correlates with that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I love hearing that. And if you're someone who is emotional or tends to have anxiety or tends to be nervous or depressed, meditation by far is the fastest, easiest tool to do for yourself. And I'm saying that as I speak from experience, because I am all of those if I'm not in balance or meditating. And I find that the fastest thing that takes all of that away or helps bring me into harmony is to have either the guided meditation or breath work or doing the Nam yoga, whatever. You'll find your way that works for you, but it's just amazing because there's all these small little tools that you can do that can really self-medicate. So I love sharing this knowledge because it's helped me so much. I know it's helped a lot of people too.
Yeah. It's the best way to self-medicate. Yeah. So I see a lot of people who self-medicate with other things, and I think this is much better.
Yeah, it's healthy. Yeah, not over drinking or drugs or whatever. This is a more easier on your body.
We're all going to look for ways to self-medicate because it's so hard when we don't feel well and we don't know what to do. So there's so much out on the internet.
Escapism.
Wonderful.
Amazing. So I think that would be phenomenal for us if we were able to share one of your meditations. Would be superb for guests to listen to and try to start somewhere. So it's always about taking the first step, and if that's doesn't feel right and doesn't resonate with you, then there's another route that you can try and bring yourself into balance. So your charity that you wanted to highlight, because we always love our guests to highlight a charity that they're very passionate about, so that we can help to promote that and spread the word. Would be
Nam Yoga.
We love that.
We love it. Yes. So we have on our website we have a page. I'm not sure. I actually haven't talked about this yet in our episodes, but on our website we have a page where we're listing all of the charities that all of our guests that we have on the show, that they care about or want people to donate. So if you have a moment, please visit our website and visit our charity page and see what what options we have on there. And if there's something that speaks to you, we encourage you to check it out and donate. So.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing.
So
Thank you
helpful.
so much, Dr. Evelyne.
What's the best way for people to contact you? We'll put stuff in the
links,
resources.
yeah. So we'll put the link to your website
yes.
and your Instagram and your Facebook
Okay.
onto the show notes, so people can contact you that way.
Yes, they
Perfect.
can. Actually, there's a contact on my website.
Oh, great.
They can just request an appointment. That doesn't mean they have to request an appointment. It's just
So
a
the groups that you're doing, we mentioned, just touched on
yeah.
that briefly. So you were doing the groups, and is that, do you have something that's coming up in the near future, or if people are interested about attending one of your group sessions, is that something that is easy for them to do?
Yes,
or is it,
and it's going to be on my website,
Yeah.
and there will be more. Actually, I'm planning to do more groups locally, so there will be more, and it will be posted on my website as we go.
Great. So can you tell us a little bit about what's happening in the groups? Like, what will you be doing?
So usually, what I've been doing so far mainly is workshops, longer workshops, but I'm looking at doing shorter ones. What we do the scans, those body scans where I go in the body and we do all those meditations, and people have questions, a lot of questions, because what's happening is that people are a little confused nowadays. They have so much information on the internet and they try different supplements, but they don't know what is good for them. So we address all that. Women have questions about hormones all the time because it's not uncommon to have a hormone imbalance. And we address whatever is on their mind, and it's really a nice exchange. And the main goal is for them to show them that, to give them the knowledge. First of all, more knowledge about their body, because we're not all doctors. We don't know what the body is like. So I give them a better picture of what's happening. And then we share, there's a lot of sharing that happens, and it creates really a good,
it's a beautiful community.
Yes, and they feel very empowered after that.
And that's what we want at the end
Yes.
of the day. That's it. Oh,
So
fantastic.
cool.
Well, thank you again for taking your time. I know it was such a hectic schedule, and sharing with us all that knowledge and vision and passion that you have for the path that you've chosen.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your
Amazing.
vision.
Yes, thank you. We're so grateful. For those of you listening, if you're loving our episodes, please, give us a rating review on iTunes. It helps boost our visibility on iTunes, so we would love that. You can also follow us on Instagram at Hiking in Heels, HEALS, and our website is Hiking in Heels, HEALS. We also have a Facebook group community that we would love for you to join the conversations from the show. But we hope you enjoyed listening. Thank you for taking
time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.